Hello there, everybody. Dodgy Gamer here, finally back with another international episode, completing our mini-series with Comoros. Remember, this is your one-stop shop for all things international management on FM21. So if that's your kind of thing, make sure you do me a favor, go and hit that subscribe button, like this video, drop a comment on this as well. But yes, it's the beginning of the end of our mini-series with Comoros. We finally made it to the Indian Ocean Island Games. But first, let's catch up on the results you've missed. So yeah, we're now into July 2023, but we've played quite a few tournaments since that African Cup of Nations that you would have seen in the previous episode. If, though, you haven't watched any of the previous episodes in this series, well, there's only a few of them. There's only 5 of them so far, so go and check them out. The link is down in the description to the playlist. But just as a reminder, for those of you who might be new, I've created a series of additional international tournaments for the game. These are tournaments that do exist in real life, but for whatever reason are not featured in Football Manager. So one of those I added was the COSAFA Cup, which is for Southern African nations, a kind of regional competition. Another one I added was the FIFA Arab Cup, which is going to be coming up later on this year in real life as a kind of precursor to the Qatar World Cup in 2022. And then another one I've added, the Indian Ocean Island Games, which is the focus of today's episode. Well, the group stage is the focus of today's episode, and hopefully we will progress from the group stage and I'll be able to bring you a second episode with some more matches there. But yeah, when we wrapped up the last episode, that was January 2022, we'd just been knocked out of the African Cup of Nations. I mean, tough group. We made it harder for ourselves by getting lots of people sent off. So May of that year, we were back in action with the COSAFA Cup, which is held annually. As I've already brought you one version of that, one edition of that, I thought we'll just see what happens. If we get to the final or something, I would turn that into an episode. Nearly happened. We were imperious in the group stages. We swanted past Lesotho. We easily dispatched Botswana. And we dealt with Mauritius, who we will be playing later in today's episode, quite easily. In the quarterfinal, we then got Zimbabwe, and this time we got the win. We managed to beat them. Ben, we'll talk more about Ben in a moment. Rafiki Saeed, Hakim Abdullah, they got a late consolation goal. We were through to the semis to play South Africa, who we played in a friendly before the tournament. We got a 0-0, so that was encouraging. I thought maybe there's a chance, and no, there wasn't any chance at all. We were completely outplayed and very soundly beaten. There was, however, a third-place match against Namibia. We should have won this in normal time. They equalised in the 89th minute to force extra time. Who wants extra time in a third-place playoff? But that's what we got. They took the lead, but we equalised fairly quickly, and we held our nerve in the penalty shootout to win. But our 2022 was not over there. We had qualifying for the African Cup of Nations. Now, this was all played in the space of 2.5 months. I think what's happened here, a lot of disruption because of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar taking place in the November. So even though we just played an African Cup of Nations, we had qualifying for another one. That's coming up. You'll see the results of that shortly. Anyway, I thought Uganda were going to be the tough opponents in this group. We managed to get 4 points off them. It's Mauritania who proved to be tough. They beat us quite easily in the away game. We did manage to beat them at home in the final group game, which was crucial because we needed points to make sure we finished above Uganda. And they were playing Mauritius, who, as you can see from the scorelines, were kind of the whipping boys of the group. But we managed to win through. We took second place in the group behind Mauritania, but it was enough to qualify us to the 2023 African Cup of Nations. Before that, though, we had another round of the COSAFA Cup, another edition to deal with. This time, a little bit frustrating. Mauritius again, beat them quite easily, 3-1. We then played Malawi, beat them 4-0. So it all came down to the final game with Angola, both teams on 6 points. and both teams having won quite easily in those games, although we did have the edge in goal difference, and very frustrating, but we lost. They scored early on, we equalised straight from the kickoff, but then they got a goal in the second half. We pushed and pushed for that equaliser, which would have sent us through. We ended up with a man sent off instead of a late goal. Angola, though, they went on, look at that, they went on to actually win the entire thing. So, there's nothing to be too upset about there, the fact that we were eliminated in that group stage by Angola. They did go on to win the entire tournament, so no shame there. So then on to the African Cup of Nations. We were drawn in a fairly tough group. We had Algeria again, and Morocco as well. We also had Congo. Now, Congo were the team where I thought, that's where we've got to target a win, because Congo only ranked around 85th in the world at the time. We've actually broken into the top 100 in the world, finally. So that was all good. I thought we've got a chance, and we nearly did it. We scored after the half-hour mark, but they equalised in the 89th minute. It's a pretty even game on the stats, but I thought we just edged it. I thought we were going to hold on. Unfortunately, though, we couldn't. An opportunity missed. So then, Morocco. Now, a pattern will start developing here, but we scored early on. Then we held on for dear life. We had a player sent off. Got to do that at the African Cup of Nations. Get a player sent off. Central midfielder as well. In, a key moment in in one of the group games. They did have a goal disallowed, but finally they equalised into stoppage time. So cruel that we had, although we were outplayed, we had those 2 points snatched away from us late on. So then we had to go into the Algeria game, hoping for a miracle. And we got one. We went behind, but we rallied. We came back into it. Bachiru and Saeed with goals either side of half-time, and then Algeria just weren't there. They just didn't show up. I mean, you look at the stats, you can see we beat them in all the key areas, and it was in the end a deserved victory. And that meant we actually topped the group, which I was not expecting at all. We topped the group. We qualified for the second round, where we would play Burkina Faso. Yeah, this was another one where I thought about bringing you this game, much like our game against South Africa in the COSAFA Cup. But I thought, we'll see if we can get through this round, get into the quarterfinals, maybe then. Frustrating is the word to describe this. I mean, you look at the match stats, we had the chances. They didn't have many chances at all. With their one shot on target, they scored halfway through the second half, and we just couldn't get back into it. So that's where our African Cup of Nations adventure ended. So there were good results there. We got third place in the COSAFA Cup last year. Okay, group stage elimination this year, but to the eventual winners, and second round where we were perhaps unlucky not to go through. We lacked a bit of firepower there. There was a reason for that. You'll notice on the scorers list here, the name of Ben stops appearing. Well, if we take a look at his profile, we see, okay, he's getting on a bit now. He's 34 years old. He's moved over to the Czech Republic with Victoria Plzeň. But this is just one of those annoying things about how international management works sometimes in Football Manager. I had to name my squad for the COSAFA Cup. Ben was in it. Now, obviously, I've created these competitions. I used real-life dates. COSAFA Cup does take place in late May, early June. But then we've got the African Cup of Nations in June. Now, I named my squad for the COSAFA Cup. I then, during the COSAFA Cup, named my squad for the African Cup of Nations. Just kept the same guys. Then when the COSAFA Cup ended for us, Ben announced he was retiring from international football. So, well, that was annoying for a couple of reasons. First of all, he's one of our best players, one of our main goal scorers, and suddenly he wasn't going to play for us anymore. And, why would you resign or retire from international football after a regional tournament and on the eve of a major continental tournament? Doesn't make sense. And also the fact that then my squad was a man down and I wasn't allowed to call up a replacement. Great. Anyway, on to today's tournament, the Indian Ocean Island Games. Now, this is a real-life tournament. 7 nations take part. They're all, would you believe it, island nations in the Indian Ocean, hence the name of the tournament. Now, there are 7 nations that compete in this tournament. In real life, they play a kind of lopsided group stage, 1 group of 4, 1 group of 3. Can't get that to happen in the FM editor. I'm sure there's a way in the advanced rules and so on. But what I ended up doing, so it's kind of based on a real life tournament, is I created a preliminary round. What I did, you've got these 2 nations, well I say nations, but Reunion and Mayotte, they're both French territories in the Indian Ocean. They're not full members of FIFA, so I have them, basically it's fixed, so every time this tournament comes up, it comes up every 4 years, they will play this preliminary round. The winner then goes through to the group stage, which is 2 groups of 3. So you can see here, the tournament's already underway because, of course, with 3 teams, one of them has to miss out. So we've got Maldives, Seychelles, Reunion in one group, Madagascar, Comoros, and Mauritius in the other group. So Mauritius, we've beaten them several times already. We should be able to win there. That should be enough to get us into the next round, but I'd like to beat Madagascar as well. They'll be a bit more of a challenge, ranked 104th in the world, but then, you know, we are currently, if I can find it, 91st in the world, so we've got to be favourites in this group. Alright, so very familiar lineup, even though, you know, Ben's gone, we just, lower quality players. That's one thing that does happen in international management, especially with the smaller nations. Your star players retire from international football, retire from football completely, and then you don't always have the talent. But, you know, I guess that happens in real life with minnow nations too. When their best players retire, you know, they might not have anyone that good to replace them. Anyway, let's get into it. By the way, don't forget, if you have tried any of my international management competitions, do let me know down in the comments below. Which one did you try? Which team did you manage? How far did you get? What did you think of it? All that kind of feedback is much appreciated. Also, do check the links down in the description to my Steam workshop. I've updated all of the files I created for the new update, so they will work with that. If you're starting a new game, I've also added a few competitions that I missed the first time around, so check those out as well. Now here we go. Mogny, nearly scores early on. Now when this series is wrapped up, so hopefully we're going to get 2 more episodes, today's group stage and then the knockout rounds in the Indian Ocean Island Games, I am then going to do like a series of mini-series, if that makes sense, where I go to different tournaments just to try them out, just to play through them. The tournaments I've created, Selemani get in. So if there's any particular tournament you'd like to see in action, let me know down in the comments as well. Again, in Africa, we've got the Wafu Nations Cup, we've got the Sisafa Cup. Then over in the Caribbean islands, a couple of the tournaments I was missing that I've added in. Windward Islands Tournament, Leeward Islands Tournament, ABCS Cup. Those are all in there now. We've got tournaments in Asia as well, got the Baltic Cup in Europe. Let me know which one you'd like to see me take on next down in the comments. Okay, well, half-time, it's all going as expected so far. Just the 1 goal, though. We'd like to add a couple more. I don't know if I can tell them that in the team talks. Yeah, there's room for improvement, definitely. So let's get out there now. We've beaten Mauritius 5-0, 5-1, 3-0 before, so we're looking for a similar kind of scoreline today. All right, here we go. Free kick. We like this kind of position. Ali Mohammed, Bachiru, out to Selemani, scorer of that first goal. Ali Mohammed plays in Madi, Selemani, both of them have their shots blocked. Close. And that's your lot. A 1-0 victory is what we'll just have to go with. Looking at those shots, that XG, it's a shame we couldn't get more. Bit of an underperformance from the strikers there, but okay, we'll say it was a good win. We'll keep that morale up. We'll be back in a couple of days for Madagascar. Right, so we're just going with the same starting lineup, to be honest. We'll keep it simple, get those boys playing together nicely. Hopefully against Madagascar, we're just going to get that, slightly better result. Now, because these are just 3-team groups, of course, these kind of things can happen, but we have already qualified for the semi-final. Mauritius have played both of their games now. They've lost both of them. which means we're guaranteed to go through together with Madagascar. It's just a matter now of who goes through top of the group. And here we go, a chance for an early goal. Shamed whips one in. Oof, I never like it when a highlight starts like that, because then you think they're just going to launch a quick counter-attack. Here comes one of their players with a long name. Here comes John Baggio. Oh, John Baggio skips past everyone. Lapusin heads it over. Yes, definitely a bit more of a dangerous team than Mauritius. Shamed with the corner now. Whips one in. Zahari, though, picks it up. Good stuff. Let's get that ball recycled. Let's get that back into the box. Let's not set ourselves up for a Madagascar counter-attack. Selemani plays in Saeed. Saeed tries to go past the defender. Couldn't quite do it. Ends up shooting wide. Corner again. Shamed. And Selemani this time. There we go. The near post. Changing it up a bit this time worked. Yes, good stuff. Good stuff. That was nicely done. Selemani had two guys on him, but he just beat both of them to it. Soared like a salmon. That's the kind of thing we wanted to see. Okay, Abdullah plays it in. Shamed going for Selemani on the far post. Selemani keeps the ball in play. Good stuff this. I like the way this is going. Burhane, Shamed, Mogni. Shamed with the shot. Shamed with the goal. An assist and a goal for the winger. Great stuff. Right, half-time then. We're 2-0 up. Everything's looking good. Hopefully we can keep it that way in the second half. Okay, on the hour mark, first highlight of the second half. Another corner for us. Doesn't lead to a goal this time. Shamed, though, gets the ball back. Bachiru goes for the far post. Saeed plays it back to the right back. Solihi, Selemani, Mogni. Can Mogni get off a shot here? No, he's dawdled too long, but never mind. We've still got the ball. Shamed, back to Ali Mohammed. A patient build-up from us here. We're not panicking. We're keeping Madagascar off the ball. All of these things are good. Selemani finally gets through. Ooh, just wide. Okay, a couple of substitutions from us then. Matayor comes on as Mbayev put Shamed into the centre in order to accommodate that. Let's see if we can add to the tally. A third goal would just make everything safe and secure to guarantee our top spot in the group. Here we go, another corner. Shamed. So that play for set pieces is obviously doing the trick today. But okay, they clear it, but we win the ball back immediately. Bachiru, Burhane, come on, let's get something here. Saeed gets the ball. Oh, look at that. Ah, it's been disallowed for offside. That was a nicely worked move and a really good strike from Saeed there. Look at that. Oh, yeah, he was clearly offside when you look at the replay, but oh, he took that sweetly. All right, we've got another chance here. 10 minutes left. Come on, boys, let's add another goal here. Not a Madagascar goal, but a goal for the great nation of Comoros. Anyway, some guy with an impossibly long surname has the ball for Madagascar, but Burhane steals it. Burhane, come on, you've got the chance here. You've got men running wide with you. Abdallah, get the cross in, please. Please. There we go. There we go. That's the third goal we were after. That surely is that. Indeed it is. We come out 3-0 winners. We top the group. We're definitely telling the boys, good win there. Well dones. Hugs, slaps on the back. Ooh, that's going to be tough. We get Reunion in the semi-finals. Now, Reunion, unranked nation, but they do have a pretty good side. I mean, lots of French players in here. You see, we've got this guy, Kenji Van Boto from Auxerre. Someone worth over £1 million. They've got another one, Julien Begu from Caen. He's worth over $1 million. So, you know, they've got some decent players. We've got this Yoel Almugom also from Caen. So it's no guarantee that, you know, we're going to beat them. But that is going to be our next episode. So let me know your predictions. How do you think we're going to get on in this Indian Ocean Games semi-final? Can we make it through to the final? The other semi-final, by the way, Maldives, Madagascar. We'd happily play Madagascar again. We'll take on the Maldives too. We've just got to get past Reunion first. For now, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've enjoyed today's episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer, and I'll see you again soon.